UK Sonic versus USA Sonic. Video by Hysterian.
Whenever classic Sonic is discussed by fans, it's very likely that his design from the American box art and promotion.
Okay, let's talk about US Sonic real quick, right? I call him Potbelly Sonic. Okay, US Sonic, he got that tummy on him, you know what I'm saying? Compared to, like, you know, modern Sonic, JP Sonic, you know, he's a bit more slim. You know, he got that, like, he got his little BBL. But I feel like this is a classic design right here. They made his spines into a mohawk, and I'm gonna say it. The spines into the mohawk was heat. For the time, was that not heat? Like, don't get me wrong, okay? This Sonic right here, right? The Japan anime style Sonic. All right, this always gonna be the peak design. Okay, they peaked in like this design right here. Sonic X, whatever. But stop playing with Potbelly Sonic, because here's what I'm gonna say about Potbelly Sonic, right? You gotta think about it. If he's eating all those chili dogs, would he not get a little hefty? Okay, so respect USA Sonic design.
Material will be brought up, as well as its deviations from his original look in Japan by...
Never mind, Japan was frying our shit, bro. Japan was cooking our shit. Hold on, run that back. Oh, hell nah. Yo, our shit look like Sonic got off the Fetty, bruh. This looks like Sonic after he done smoked too many cigarettes. This look like Skid Row Sonic, bruh. Nigga about to fentanyl. Disgusting. Like this is a well-rounded, just like a very it's just better, bro. I'm sorry. Like, well, there's something I can't even place. This Sonic just reminds me of like the floor in a Waffle House bathroom, though. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense. It just got a little like grime to him, you know what I mean? And I'm sure that shit was cool in the 90s. But like as time has gone on, it's not heat, bro.
From his original look in Japan by Naoto Oshima. What isn't likely, however, is for the UK and European design.
This just looks like a fan fiction version of the JP version, bro. Let me find out UK niggas can't draw.
For classic Sonic to be included in these kinds of conversations. So given that I'm British and I like Sonic and that 3 of my most popular videos are about Sonic products that are British, I want to change that and give this often forgotten iteration some attention.
Interesting.
It's understandable.
I didn't even know the UK had their own Sonic, so I'm very curious to see what that was like.
Why he isn't talked about much. The design was only around for a couple of years, lasting from 1993 to roughly late 1995. Before that, Sonic's appearance would constantly fluctuate for us
okay, so
tea drinkers and our baguette eating, beer downing, bullfighting, pizza loving, and bicycle riding friends across the continent.
All
On
Europe,
one game's
I'm assuming.
box art, you'd see arguably the
so this is the Japanese Sonic though, right here.
single most iconic illustration of the guy ever made, and then
Ooh, okay, hold on. Is this the most iconic Sonic illustration? This might be some like, this might show my age. This might be some 2000s kid, Gen Z type shit, right? But I think, hold on, let me pull it up. I bet you if I look up Sonic, it's going to pop up. Let me see. I think there's an illustration in like this style right here where his body is like curled over. No, not that much. But I think I'm probably not going to find the exact image. So maybe it's not the most iconic. But for me, the image that comes to mind when I think Sonic is this version right here. Sonic Adventure pose. Yeah, this one right here. This one right here. This might just be me being an old head or a young head. I mean, this pose is pretty old now. Like this version of him is pretty old. But when I think Sonic and I think iconic Sonic, This is what I'm thinking right here. This is what I'm thinking is the most iconic pose. Good shit. Whoever gave me that. Whoever gave me the call out there. Wrong video.
Iconic illustration of the guy ever made. And then on the next, he'd suddenly have a mohawk.
Look at Tails' little ass.
Bowed legs, and crooked ears. And then for some inexplicable reason, he'd go right back to having his Japanese design one game later.
Let's be real, because they saw that American design and they were like, no, that shit is fucking buns, bro. That nigga looks like he smokes 2 packs of cigarettes a day. Nigga, that's Newport Sonic. That nigga is not from Mobius, bro. That nigga is from fucking, like, I don't know, bro. Vegas.
It was as
yeah, like, come on, bro. This pose right here is too iconic. Y'all don't really know about Sonic Unleashed like that, bro. Y'all might be too young for, or too old for. You got to be a certain age to really appreciate Sonic Unleashed, bro. Like, Sonic Unleashed, that was really my shit back in the day. I'm kind of mad that they, like, that's not really remembered as fondly as I remember it.
Consistent as the gameplay in the 3D titles. I'm not sure if this inconsistency was the reason for the UK Sonic design's existence, though. Actually, in all honesty, I couldn't find...
I do like this. I've seen this design. These are from, like, the newer little OVAs or, like, short videos that they drop. I like this design a lot as well, like the minimalist.
Any sort of explanation for it when I was researching this topic. If I had to hazard a guess, the folks over at Sega Europe probably wanted to make their own box art instead of relying on whatever assets...
They had that nigga playing football? How is putting him on the football field fair at all?
...and American sides of the company would send them, and then having to stitch something together from all of it. If anybody has a...
Oh, hell nah. What is this? This nigga look like a FNAF bonus boss. Ugly ass Sonic, bro. Was this UK Sonic or was this US? I think this might be US. This is not okay. This is not okay. And Sonic should low-key be one of the easiest characters to translate into fucking... into a costume, bro. He looks like a human wearing a costume on the sly. This is nasty right here, though.
Different idea, or hell, actually knows how and why the design came to be and can back it up with a source, then please get in touch. I'd love to talk to you about it for a brief addendum to this video. The first thing you'll notice...
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. UK, we gotta open the dialogue on the homies over on the other side of the pond, bruh. Because this was the best art y'all could come up with. This is y'all finest artists. Weren't y'all responsible for the Renaissance era? And this is how y'all were moving in 1997? This is disgusting work, I'm not gonna lie. This looks not great, man. UK, lock in.
About UK Sonic is that he more closely resembles the original Japanese artwork than Greg Martin's take does, as he lacks those bent ears and mohawk-styled quip.
That's fair, but low-key, I feel like I prefer this US Sonic over the UK one. Even if this one diverges from the JP Sonic more, it at least kind of gets its own identity. You know what I mean? Like it has its own vibe to it. He feels a little bit more like edgy. This one just looks like a not well rendered version of the Japanese one.
Among other things. You'd be forgiven for thinking these two designs are the exact same, given how similar they are, but there are a few small, key differences between them. The funniest to me is that UK Sonic looks absolutely fucking pissed off all the time.
What were y'all so mad about back in the 90s, bruh? Why y'all got Sonic... Why y'all got Sonic growling at niggas, bruh?
As if he's just spotted somebody reading the Daily Mail, or experienced 32-degree weather 3 days in a row in
oh, okay. Yeah, that nigga mad they don't have any AC.
fucking May. It's a very accurate depiction of what us Brits look like on an average day, so well done for making Sonic even more appealing to us. Another noticeable change is the inclusion of soles on his sneakers, which was
interesting. He does have soles on his sneakers now, doesn't he? So did part of the UK design actually stick?
Wasn't a thing in the Japanese or American artwork for the classic games. Although it's a very minor
he
alteration,
has white soles
I
now,
really
though.
like them.
It's
the white
stuck.
blends nicely with the straps and makes Sonic's poses pop out, as it were.
That's
There's
true.
also his quills, which...
Yo, who is he pointing at, bro? Yo, we should not have given the UK Sonic, bro. They turned this nigga into an ignorant gangster. Why is he looking like he calling me out, about to jaw me in my shit, bro? And I'm not gonna lie, I always have had issues with Sonic, with front view Sonic. I used to have these little Sonic comic books. I don't know if they were the Archie comics, but they were like these little Sonic comic books. They were about this big. There were like hundreds of volumes, I think. And I would hate when they did the front view Sonic and made his head a triangle, bruh. This shit looked nasty.
Drawn about as consistently as Sonic's design was across Europe in the early years. I don't mean that in a bad way at all. They look really cool in some illustrations like this one.
That's cool. But on the flip side, right, I don't like the front view where he has the triangle head. I do love when his spikes spike up like that for whatever reason.
Where a couple of his spines are pointing upward as though he's about to transform into Supersonic. I will admit there are some instances where they aren't drawn the best though, like here where they look...
Oh, hell no. They turned that boy head to a marijuana leaf, bro. What is this? Yo, UK, this the best y'all can cook? That nigga head looked like a rose toy.
So damn tiny. It's a million times better than anything I could ever draw though, so more power to the artist. Shit, speaking of which, I should probably talk about Duncan Gutteridge, who was the primary artist for the Sonic franchise in the UK and Europe throughout the early to mid-90s. If you've watched my video about the Sonic gamebooks, then you'll likely
we might have to peep that video out.
Recognize some of his work, as it was used on the covers of Metal City Mayhem and Zone Rangers, after originally being drawn for a Sonic calendar, which also happened to be one of the first things he worked on for this.
Okay, I don't like... And I know this was more common in cartoons probably back in the 90s, but I used to hate and still do hate. They don't really do it anymore. But you know how sometimes when a character has white eyes, but they'll make it like this doesn't look like an eye, bro. This looks like a window. And then like he's blinking beneath the window. You know what I mean? Like in cars where they have windows instead of eyes. This should be blue. His eyelid should be blue. He's blinking with his eyeball open. This is not okay.
Series. He discussed this and his overall involvement with Sonic during a 2016 interview with Nintendo Life, stating, "The Sonic illustration work came about from a call from an agency who had seen my work in various publications. I worked through them at first, as they had the account with Sega Europe. This started with the creation of a series of images for an exclusive calendar in 1992.
Apart from that, though, I do like this artwork a lot. I like the way it's rendered kind of semi-3D.
This led to a number of commissions for point-of-sale material, packaging artwork, the cover for Sonic 3, and Sonic Triple Trouble."
What other characters do we got here? We got Knuckles. Knuckles used to be a lot pointier in the nose back in the day. Robotnik always was fat as shit. And then this nigga, my brain wants to say Espio. Espio's purple, right? I haven't tapped in with Sonic in a brick, but I know this isn't Espio. I don't really know who this is, bro. Who is this? I don't know.
His aforementioned cover art for the European version of Sonic 3 is probably his most well-known contribution, as well as being the main reason folks outside of Europe are aware of the UK Sonic design. It differs from all of these.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. The UK wasn't really doing it, bro. This one right here just kills me the most, brother. One of y'all said he looked like a propaganda poster. I could see it, bro. Niggas just have him so pissed at all times. Nigga has no joy and whimsy, bruh. Just mad as hell. Running around angry as shit. And the only image we get of him running is him stopping. Still angry as shit. Oh, man. This nigga up here looking at the chat mad as hell. Like, what's
illustrations quite a bit, with the shade of blue being a lot darker, the ears being slightly wider and smaller, and possibly
this looks a lot different.
Quills. It's kind of hard for me to tell how they're supposed to be styled or...
It's interesting, right? It seems like back in the 90s, apart from the Japanese design, the UK and the US were very adamant on giving Sonic a like solidified skull structure. You know what I mean? That like separated from his mohawk or his quills. Whereas like the Japanese version kind of had this like amorphous head quill mix sort of thing. And then obviously now in modern Sonic, he kind of has that like head quill mix sort of thing. But this like defined skull has always looked kind of off to me.
Where they begin, and I don't really care either because I fucking adore this specific image of Sonic. The pose, the expression, the sharp but sleek style of it, it's oozing with aura and 90s attitude. To me, it's the perfect blend of the American and Japanese design.
It does look like a blend of these two though. But again, the JP version, and that's not even to be on some weeb shit, Japan better. All right. I'll sit here and tell you when I feel like some US or some UK art looks better than the Japan art. I do think a lot of anime niggas just glaze the anime art style, which is fine. But just like, I feel like just in general, this art style just mogs what the US and the UK were putting out at the time.
While still looking unique thanks to the shape of his mono eye and those white soles. My friend Jack actually saw a standee of this guy at a toy fair last year. Although he was missing his middle finger, Robotnik must have been like, you know what, fuck you, Hedgehog, and cut that shit clean off. One important thing I wanted to note is that I'm not sure if Gutteridge drew these illustrations that I've shown previously, given how significantly different they are.
Okay, we got him smiling in some of these later illustrations, right? He's smiling here. He's smiling here. So he wasn't angry at all times. He had a little bit of whimsy.
Given how significantly different they are from his depiction of Sonic here, as well as in the calendar artworks. I'm not even sure where most of these come from, to be honest. According to the gallery in Sonic Origins, these 4 were published in a European style guide back in 1994, which I couldn't find any scans of online whatsoever. And I must have spent around 2 hours reverse image searching all of these little dudes to see if I could find any information regarding where they...
I'm not gonna lie, I know I was hating on it. This one is kind of growing on me, like a tiny bit. Like, I would never want to see a modern Sonic with this iteration, but... the head shape is just so unique that it's kind of growing on me on the sly.
Came from before getting fed up. Thankfully, Skua, a former content moderator on the Sonic Wikizone, came in clutch and told me that they were used on a wallpaper for the 20th anniversary.
Okay, what is this? This is like the full evolution. Yeah, I think, and again, this is probably showing my age, right? I'd say from about like here, these 4 iterations, boom, 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 boom. And then this one, these 5 iterations, boom, 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 boom. That's peak Sonic design right there. I've never really been too fond of his current iteration with the 3D. I think it works sometimes. And obviously, you know, a lot of animation in general is moving to 3D because it's cheaper and, you know, is more consistent, whatever. But yeah, like... I mean, you can, there seems to be very defined eras, right? You got like his flats era, then you got like his 90s edgy era, then you got 2000s prime era, Sonic X and shit, and then you got like late 2000s resurgence. And what is that on the far end? I feel like they made him taller too. They made his proportions like he's more leggy now than he was before, which I guess makes sense as a running based superhero, super character, whatever. But like, I feel like this Sonic right here, damn near all legs, bro. His legs damn near bigger than his torso.
So a massive thank you to
that Sonic Advance, Sonic Rush arc is peak. Yeah, that might be why. Sonic Rush is one of my favorite games from my childhood, bro. And I never beat that shit.
The info. Their exact origin is still uncertain though. They could be from the style guide I was just talking about, or somewhere completely different. Like I said earlier, if you have any insight as to where they're from and if Gutteridge drew them or not, then please let me know, I'd really appreciate it. Getting back to something that we know Duncan definitely drew, I want to talk about his rendition of Sonic Triple Trouble's box art.
Looks solid.
There's the obvious changes to Sonic's appearance.
This feels, I don't know why, but at first glance, this right here feels very Disney. It reminds me of like the Goofy movie or some shit like that. And then also, like, he got these big ass, like, what's good with Robotnik's eyes? He got a mono ball with 2 pupils and then a giant big ass eye hole.
From the North American version of the cover by Greg Martin, like the removal of the mohawk and the addition of white soul.
Okay, so which one was the American version? Hold on, I wasn't paying
attention. Version of the
Okay, yeah. So the Americans were still trying to give this nigga a mohawk, bro.
Cover by Greg Martin, like the removal of the mohawk.
He definitely fixed this shit up by taking off that sorry ass mohawk, bro. I'm so glad this mohawk didn't stick with Sonic. Like, don't get me wrong, I respect this era, and I do. You know, some of my favorite renditions of Sonic did have this mohawk, but God, that shit needed to go.
Hawk and the addition of white souls, but he also looks like he has brown irises here. I know it's likely intended to be lighting or shading, and they were kind of there on the original version.
Green
However,
now?
they're much more prominent here, given their larger size. That's about it in terms of differences here, although I do want to go on a side tangent for a second. What the fuck is going on with Robotnik?
Yeah, that's this is disgusting, bro.
Why is he a giant floating head in the sky? It's like he's trying to do a shit impression of the weird baby son from the bloody Teletubbies. Alright, let's talk about Stay Sonic, a 1993 book that details some juicy British Sonic lore. It
Oh, we getting lore? Oh, hell no. Who the fuck is that? Is that his pops or something?
Fleshed out retelling of Sonic and Robotnik's origins from Sega of America's Sonic Bible.
The Sonic Bible. Yo, I'm gonna get a copy of the Sonic Bible. Sonny Hedgehog? His name is Sonny? And this nigga was born in Nebraska? Yeah, I'm still going with the canon of his name being Maurice. That shit is funnier to me.
As I've mentioned in my British Sonic Books video, the TLDR of which is Sonic meets a nerd called
Yo! Oh no. I mean, okay, credit where credit is due. This is his most hedgehoggy form. But why the fuck is this random Sonic imposter hanging around with Gentle Criminal from My Hero Academia, bruh? This is, it does look like a hedgehog, I'll give him that.
He goes fast, turns blue, stupid nerd gets caught in an explosion that makes him evil, and now he's Dr. Robotnik, which then leads directly into the first two
I'm not gonna lie, niggas was doing anything for lore back in the day.
Sonic games. Beautiful story, let's get into the really interesting bits. There's several aspects of the book.
Some are born great, as they say, others have greatness thrust upon them. Sonic falls into the latter category. Forced to become a hero when Robotnik snatches his... Okay.
That may have inspired the recent live-action movies, such as Sonic having a large comic book collection, and more
was that The Flash?
Notably, that he was first discovered by a sharp-eyed owl named Sophocles, which could be the basis for the character Longclaw. The book also contains a metric shit ton of information about the Badniks, like the fact that the blue and green neutrons are actually two different breeds called the lesser spotted blue neutron.
Wait, are those aren't built? Niggas said breeds like they were natural creatures. I always thought Robotnik built all of those little robotic creatures. I'm not gonna lie. Has Robotnik / Eggman been a fraud this whole time? I always gave him credit. I said, all right, you know, he's always getting his ass whooped by Sonic, but he's always building these crazy inventions. But if he didn't build those shits, we might have to open a dialogue on him.
And the lesser spotted, oh heck, it's that one green neutron respectively. Grabber is revealed to be a fucking cannibal. As its biography states, some people have wondered why there aren't more badniks in the chemical plant zone. It's because Grabber isn't very discriminating about who it grabs.
Okay.
Rexon from Hilltop Zone is stated to be one of Mobius's oldest...
So these are not inventions. These are creatures, just regular creatures. So what the fuck? Damn, I had always just assumed Robotnik had built all of those robots, and that's why they were robots. I mean, he has the word robot in his name. He uses a bunch of robots. I just assumed that all the enemies we're fighting in Sonic games were his, were his inventions, were his brain children. I guess not.
Inhabitants, despite being created by Robotnik.
Okay, so he was created by Robotnik. Okay, I was about to have to open this serious fraud dialogue on him. So Robotnik must be old as shit then, or they just weren't thinking this lore all the way through.
No idea how that works. Apparently the best way to annoy a Burrowbot is to call it a sissy and knock off its baseball cap. And Spikes is dubbed a weird blend of Motobug and crab meat, heavily implying that Robotnik combined the two badniks together to make it. Stay Sonic also contains the first instances of swearing in the franchise.
Oh,
How
shit.
Scandalous.
Sonic doesn't really curse no more, does he? That's probably like banned. They probably got that in the Sonic Bible. Hey, you can't have Sonic swearing. He gotta be kid friendly.
No.
What was he saying?
Horrifically offensive profanity consists of Sonic being called pretty damn nosy and describes the Buzzer Badniks as making life hell for picnickers. Chances are, if you've made it this far into the video, you probably like Sonic. But the question is, how much do you like the blue arsehole? Well, luckily, this book has the perfect, quintessentially British...
Are you a Sonic nut? I'ma say no. I'm not even gonna set myself up.
British quiz for you to find out. Seriously, look at some of these answers. Tell her she's a dozy old trout and go upstairs to pack your bags. Accuse her of going out with a Chippendales / him of going out with a Dagenham girl pipers and finish with...
Yo, what? Yo, can someone from the UK translate this fucking madness on my screen right now? Accuse her of going out with the Chippendales / him of going out with the Dagenham girl pipers and finish... What? Yo, y'all speaking a whole different language over there. Like it's words, it's English words that my brain thinks it can understand. And then I try to pull context out of this to actually understand what I'm reading. And it's just nothing. My brain, it just beep, 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 beep. What the fuck do y'all be saying? How you got us over here in the US speaking a more understandable version of y'all language? What is this? Accuse her of going out with the Chippendales, him of going out with the Dagenham Girl Pipers and finish with him. Like, what? This is old head speak? Yo, this is insane speak.
/him forthwith. Stop off at the bookies.
Stop off at the bookies en route and slap your harder on Mr. Snodgrass in the 3:30 at Chepstow. Yo, I feel like I'm speaking like, y'all know that nigga from The Amazing World of Gumball, the fucking pizza? The little pizza kid that speaks all funny? I just realized my light turned off. I know y'all know that nigga from The Amazing World of Gumball, the fucking pizza that be speaking gibberish. That's how I feel like I'm speaking, trying to read this.
Slap your hard-earned on Mr. Snodgrass in the 3:30 at Chepstow. Mike Pattenden, you might just be the funniest motherfucker to ever work on this series.
Can someone please explain what he just read? Like, I literally... is this how it feels to, like... You know, I hear sometimes other languages have dialects where two different dialects of the same language genuinely cannot understand each other. And that's always been interesting to me as an American, because we have a lot of accents and dialects and, you know, like, I don't know, of English here, but you can always, you know, I can tell someone from the deep South and versus someone from, you know, high North versus someone like you can kind of put it together no matter what dialogue, at least in America, you can kind of put together what people are trying to say. Those were probably the first English sentences that I have read since I have learned how to read that I just sincerely did not understand. Well, like, I feel dumber having read that, bro. I'm like, oh, I don't have a grasp on this language like I thought I did.
I'd never forgive myself if I didn't bring up the Sonic Celebrities section, where 5 famous Brits were asked different questions about
Sonic
the character.
Celebrities?
Richie James from Manic Street Preachers revealed that his first exposure to Sonic was in Guild.
What was your first experience with Sonic? This nigga remembered the year and the date. Guilford, July 1991. That nigga had a fling with Sonic.
Back in July 1991. And that it was also his worst experience. God knows what happened to listen.
What do you mean, worst experience with Sonic? What does that mean? He talking like he had a sensual fling with Sonic and got an STD. What do you mean your worst experience with a fictional character?
To that response, Zach Foley from EMF apparently had multiple
Don't know
nightmares.
this guy either. Wait. I had nightmares in which I asked Sonic to go out with me and he agreed? Yo, what was Sonic doing in the UK in the 90s, bruh? That has all these people talking about Sonic like this, bruh.
He asked Sonic to go out with him and came up with the shittiest motto.
Can you think of a substitute Sonic motto? Sonic the spiky ball? I mean, he is a spiky ball.
Ever read in my life. Sonic the Spiky Ball is just describing what the character can turn into. It doesn't express any kind of belief or purpose. What a fucking numpty. A couple of them do their own fan casts for Robotnik in a potential Sonic movie, with Kathy Dennis suggesting Richard...
Don't know Kathy Dennis. Who would you cast play Robotnik in a film? The guy who played Jaws in the Bond movie Moonraker?
Heel of James Bond fame, which I could definitely see.
Okay. It's not bad, honestly.
While Tom Hingley from the...
Even though low-key, like... Did she just call that nigga turbo chopped? Like, how are you feeling if you read your magazine and someone is casting you as Dr. Robotnik? Maybe just because Dr. Robotnik isn't even like an intimidating evil, bruh. So it's not like she was saying like, oh yeah, he plays evil characters very well.
Band in Spiral Carpets put forward Lionel Blair.
Lionel Blair? I'm not too familiar with actor names.
Photoshop.
Oh, this is going to be horrendous.
No. Hey, look at that. It's Richard Fairbrass, one of the guys responsible for the weirdest Sonic song of all time a year before making it. According to him, his most bizarre Sonic moment was when he jumped out of the...
I'm sorry? What was your most bizarre Sonic moment when he jumped out of the... You niggas play too much in the UK, bro. What were y'all talking about in the 90s, bruh? You niggas had cursed Sonic consoles. Okay, so now let's put the story together. In approximately 1990, Sonic jumped out of the console and ran across the carpet and escaped this nigga's house. Okay? Sonic then proceeded to go on a fling with that first celebrity, give him a horrible experience for whatever reason, and then get asked out by the second celebrity, to which he agreed. I mean, we already know from the last Sonic video that Sonic has no trepidations about kissing dudes. Happy Pride Month to Sonic. But UK Sonic, I thought US Sonic was moving crazy. We might have to open a dialogue on UK Sonic.
Console and ran across the carpet. And the most frustrating thing about Sonic is that he doesn't speak French. Wait, what? What the hell are you talking about? That's the best thing of—
What the? Ew. We are Surrender Interloper. We are the friend. Is this an actual panel? I do remember, didn't they have a nigga like, there was this one Sonic cartoon. I forgot what it was called, but they had a nigga named Antoine who was like a little weasel or a fox or something or some sort of dog. And he had a French accent.
About him. Okay, I've kind of run out of shit to ramble about in regards to UK Sonic now. But before I wrap this video up, I wanted to give you chaps on the other side of the pond and beyond an idea of how popular Sonic and—
What's blue? What? What's blue and pisses all over everything? They mean like taking the piss, right? Like that's some shit UK niggas say. Sega have taken delivery of Sonic the Hedgehog. Yo, what am I looking at right now, bruh? Yo, y'all play too much in the UK. This video just made my UK hate more pronounced.
Sega were over here. You see, in the States, the Mega Drive sold 18 million units, whereas the NES and SNES sold 34 million and 20 million respectively. So surely
it's and wasn't Sega on top of Nintendo in terms of sales at one point?
Similar in the UK, right? Well, these two sold a combined total of 2,200,000 units.
No one was playing games in the UK, bruh.
While the Mega Drive alone managed to sell 3 million units. It also outsold the Nintendo 64, the 3DS, the Game Boy Color, and the original Xbox, which is very impressive. And the hype for Sonic 2 was so immense in the UK that it received 10 times more advance orders than the Queen of Pop Madonna's massively publicized book that came out a month prior, leading to the absolutely beautiful headline, Sonic, more popular than sex.
I'm sorry, that... I could hate right now, but that's kind of fire. I'm not gonna lie. I could hate right now, but that's kind of fire. Whoever wrote that shit was low-key cooking. Sonic, more popular than sex. All right, I think that's about the end of the video. That was cool, though. We learned a lot about UK Sonic, bruh.